Stefanie Maegan. You're listening to Broke Girl Therapy. Because therapy is too expensive. You're listening to Broke Girl Therapy. Broke Girl Therapy. I haven't drank in any of these new episodes.
How's that been for you?
I mean, I don't really drink that much anymore.
No. The funniest ones are when you get drunk by yourself.
That because it's usually if I have a bottle and I'm sharing with somebody, it's that's half
You
a bottle.
share,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But then the solo pods and I just have the whole bottle to myself. Bitch. It's a mess.
Game over.
Right. And there was one point as of a few months ago where I was almost I was drunk in almost every episode, and then I was I need to get it together.
Are we gonna talk about you cussing people out on people coming for you? You cuss people out on social media.
What time? I feel I fucking go for comfort people all the time. I've had to tell myself to not take it personal.
Don't.
I can't. But there's times where I'm I don't care.
ADHD, guys.
I know. Man. I mean, I feel lately I've been getting, I get a lot of love still. I want to recognize that. Majority of them are, very positive.
Yeah.
But of course, I feel I get, anxiety when, shit goes viral. I'm so grateful when it does because it helps the numbers. But, my anxiety heightens because it's just people, talking
Being
shit.
people.
Right. I got, someone, commented on my weight. You know what I mean? It's just, people, be coming for you.
They violate
They find reasons to come at
Could
you.
you imagine being Kim Kardashian? I could never.
That's what I'm saying. I can never,
That's a lot on your mental.
Right. It's I want to be recognized for the work that I do, and I
Yeah.
obviously want it to be spread, and obviously that comes with some sort of, it was weird to say fame.
Yeah.
But it's but I would never want to get on Kardashian level.
No, I mean, and for the people to
I mean, I would love the Kardashian money.
right.
Don't get me wrong.
But to not be able to walk outside your house without being people being all up in you, and then people feeling they have the permission or to
the
comment,
entitlement
yeah. to comment on your body, to comment on your family, to comment on your weight, on your that's the fact that someone picks up their phone and writes what are you on?
Right. It's just why? I don't have the energy to do that.
I feel they're on the same mental level of people that catfish. They all they all need therapy.
Yeah, the person that fat shamed me. I remember I looked at their profile and I'm they don't have a profile picture.
Of course.
They don't post anything. So I'm so you're obviously clearly not willing to show yourself
because you're not doing well,
right? And then but you're out here trolling.
Yeah,
obviously
there's something wrong with you.
Exactly. So
100%.
I've had to remind myself of that. But sometimes I'd be it'd be right before my period. I'm real sensitive.
I'm really emotional today, guys.
Right, and I'm gonna fight some people, and then I have to catch myself. And Brian always calms me down, and I'm just all right. And I have to take a break from social media for a couple hours. But it's life.
This is life.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
I missed you. I've been wanting to do an episode with you for so long.
I know, bitch has been busy.
I know. Okay. Hi, guys. It is me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Broke Girl Therapy. And we have the baddest bitch in the game, Jess motherfucking Clarke.
Gang, gang, gang.
I just want you on all the time.
Stop.
But, even when we lived together, you weren't on as much as you should have been.
Yeah, I know. I'm trash. It's fine.
No, don't say that. You were not trash.
I don't know why. This is so funny because
we were both just so busy.
Yeah.
It's not even just you.
I've become such an introvert in my since I've become sober.
Right.
I'm introvert central. I don't even know where it comes from. It's so funny.
I get that. No, I mean, but it's not even that. It's just we were just
I'm boo busy.
We were just busy.
My life is so full.
Yeah.
Which I'm grateful for, but damn.
Yeah. And then or when the time would come, we'd be we're tired.
Yes. I bitch stay tired, okay?
Yeah, we both me and you both are always tired.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And it's just especially because it's when we live together and we record at home, it's just you get to just comfortable. And it's just, we've had a whole day. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's fine. We're here now.
But now, okay, so we lived together. We've lived together twice.
Yes,
and you've always
I follow
moved
you.
in, moved in where I lived right at the like end of me like
I know,
being
that's
there.
I didn't even think about that. That's
Like,
true.
we both lived at the
It's
same
like I chase
places.
Steph and then she runs away.
Aw, but you were always like my favorite though. Like, no offense to everyone else, you know, but like you were always like my favorite to live with.
I love that. You're my favorite too.
And so, but like, as you guys, if you guys are watching on YouTube or see the videos, like we're literally in the same place. Like,
but I promise things have changed.
Yes, but like you've been letting me crash on my couch that I left
It's
here.
your couch. Because good luck getting that couch in your Ford. Okay.
Right. For
Girl,
real,
you want to get far.
No, exactly. But I was like, you know what? I'll leave it here because I'll stay here.
You'll stay here.
I'll come by.
And like honestly, if you took it away, honestly, it would have been bad for you.
For real, I'll be like, I have nowhere to stay. I have to share a bed with you.
Of course, that's
And then Quay moved in, and so that's been a whole thing.
So I live with Quay now.
Yeah,
everyone's
you're
just
not with Quay. Sorry,
no, I'm not with.
No,
Let me. I love. Now she's a gem.
Yes, amazing.
But yeah, everyone's just like, how is it?
We can't say her name, so I had to bleep that out.
Oh, sorry.
His girlfriend. Yeah,
his girlfriend. Yeah. So people always asking like, what is it like? It's fine, but like sometimes, except for you, people I know, even some of my friends, I could not live with them. Some of my best friends, I could not live with them.
Yeah, I know who I know
who
which
I can.
ones.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
You are perfectly fine. We get along perfectly fine. But with guys, I just feel like they're like low maintenance.
Right.
So it's just like, it's easy.
Yeah,
it's
and he does his own thing.
Yeah, he does his own thing.
You like don't even ever see him.
don't. I feel like I live here by myself.
Yeah. Like he's never even here.
Never here.
Yeah, like I haven't even seen him.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I loved living with you, and it's like, but you know, I'm happy living with a man too.
Of course, we've been talking about this for like when Steph left, we literally had a Color Purple moment. You and me will never.
We did. We got so like the moment because I mean honestly like it didn't really hit me like leading up. Everyone's like, oh my god, are you so excited? Like how are you feeling? And I'm like, I don't know, because I feel like there was just so much going on, so much prepping and everything. Like moving is a lot.
Like you literally packed everything in less than a week.
Yeah, like
Procrastination nation.
Right. ADHD. Again, it's a part of my personality trait. So, anyways, but yeah, so like it didn't hit me because I was just in the zone, whatever. And then the moment, like I think Brian left first with like the first half of my, like we drove separately to the Bay, and he left already, and so I was just gathering the last few of the things and like cleaning up a little bit, and like I went to you to go say bye, and that was like,
I was like, what do you mean? I didn't believe it, honestly, until I saw her walking out the door. I was like, she ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, because when I told you I was moving, you're like, I
was like, I'm not even gonna look for a roommate because she gonna change her mind. It's gonna happen.
She's not leaving.
And she kept on saying, yeah, I'm moving to Oakland. I was like, I don't know why she's saying that on the pod because it's not gonna happen.
Well, at first I told you I was gonna move to Oakland, and then I was gonna move to Atlanta. You're like, you ain't gonna move to Atlanta. You're just gonna stay in Oakland.
I know my friend. That's one thing about it.
You were right.
I know I was. I was like, she's not moving to Atlanta. Not now, at least. Oakland, okay, but yeah.
But you're like, you predicted. You're like, you were straight up like, you're gonna move to Oakland. Just stay there, girl. You're not gonna move to Atlanta. I was like, yeah, I'm like very like sure. And you're like, no.
I know my friend. It's fine.
Yeah. But so like that moment, I don't know. It was just like it like hit me, and I had the emotions, and I was like
I'm going to move in with a man.
I was like, wait, I'm living with a man. Like I'm living with a boyfriend.
Yeah. I could like if you told me like 5 years ago
when we met, that
this is where I would be sober first of all, and then you'll be living with a man.
First off, have a boyfriend.
Boyfriend. Right. I would have been like, where? That's so crazy. Life has truly changed. For both of
I mean,
us.
it's like you know that I was like destined to happen, but I just feel like it all like happened like so fast, but so organically and so right. You know, like it was. I don't mean fast in a way that it was like rushed, but fast it was like time just flew
by.
Like 1 minute we just met, we're fucking drunk as fuck at a bar,
smoking cloves.
Right.
Shout out to the cloves. We got so drunk and
fucked up.
I was all over the place.
Same.
All over the place.
Me and you both were just lost.
So lost.
Like in our 20s. You know what's crazy? Actually, oh my God, now I'm just realizing this. You were the one that introduced me to Soul Swipe.
I was.
Yes, that night when we both got fucked up, when we met for the first time.
Oh yeah, I was like, are you on Soul Swipe?
You told me
It used
about
to be
the app.
so good.
It used to be so good. I loved that app. I had a great time.
I had such a great time.
I had such a great
All
time.
the black men were on there.
Exactly. And I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, I shouldn't have been on there. I should have let y'all have your space.
I know. Why are you taking our man? I'm just joking.
Like, I really should have respected that.
No, it's totally fine. We definitely need it. We're, diverse.
Right. But it's just funny because it's just like, really, like that, like it's just like, wow, you like black men.
This is for us.
Right. I'm just joking. But I should have let y'all have your. Anyways, it should have been like interracial dating app.
But then I was telling you that now I just got on. First of all,
wait, no, sorry. Let me finish my story.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So how to like tie it all in together?
Go ahead.
So that moment we met, you told me about Soul Swipe. Went on Soul Swipe, had a blast, and that's how I met Brian. But it wasn't on Soul Swipe.
Huh.
I met Brian because Brian was also on Soul Swipe, and he actually hated the app because he just thought like technicality wise, it was just bad, which it kind of was.
Yeah.
And so he of course, Brian works in social media, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he went on Twitter to see what people were saying about the app.
Oh.
And then I tweeted saying how much I loved the app.
Huh. I never knew this story.
Yes. And then so he went on my page, saw that I had a podcast, followed me, thought I was cute, whatever. And that's how it began.
Really?
So
I'm essentially the reason why you're happy.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is all to say. Jessica is the source of happiness.
It's just crazy, how you there's ways how you could meet your partner, but it's just so unexpected and so random. And so if I didn't post on Indeed.com that I needed help on my show,
you probably would have never met Brian.
I would have never met Brian. I mean, let's be real. I would probably end up finding out about
I'm
no,
happy
it just
taking it.
it all happened just so.
That's so funny. Even my sister-in-law, I was the one that introduced it to my brother.
Aww.
I know, and I need to introduce myself to somebody because I'm doing all these connections and.
But you know what? I believe in karma, and that it's gonna come back to you
from your mouth to God's ears.
In divine timing.
God. Jesus.
It's all in timing. The way that things are mapped out and planned out is so real.
Yeah.
The way that me and Brian met, I just feel that was just meant to be.
For sure.
I was meant to be your friend, and I was meant to go on Soul Swipe.
Even with Quay, how I randomly met Walker, and Walker introduced me to Quay, and then Quay and we randomly all came to the apartment and randomly recorded, and now I live with him. It's just the world is so the way things work out. I mean, it's comforting in many ways because it makes you feel that even though you're not sure where you are, things are gonna align in your benefit.
Exactly.
Somehow, some way.
Even just the most random moments, you, Walker, and Quay just randomly coming over to drunkenly record something.
Yes.
It just turned out to be just this friendship, and we've all lived together. You know what I mean? So it's
crazy.
It's so crazy how that all really just mapped out. So that's just a reminder for you guys. Even if you just feel you're uncertain of the future, just know that you are in the right place at the right time. And everything that's happening around you, even the small things, are meant to happen.
100.
So just let go and let God.
Let go and let God.
Yes. And if you don't believe in God, let go and let
Universe or life.
Right.
Stone.
Whatever you believe in. Allah.
Allah. Gravity.
Right. No, Allah,
Allah.
Allah. Okay, I fucked up. I'm no, I feel I offend every religion. Thank you.
It's fine. You had the best intentions.
Thank you. I did. Those were great intentions. I'm just so skeptical because I feel people call me out on every little fucking thing now, so.
You can't lose that though,
I mean, realistically, I won't.
Yeah,
but it's still gonna be the.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You have to be more you can't. But also, we live in such sensitive times. I feel anything, anyone, because I could say the sky is blue, and someone would be like, no, it's not. And they would have to, and I would have to validate their feelings.
Right.
Right. We just live in such a sensitive time.
And I always mean well. I'm always trying to learn.
Exactly. You have to look at people's heart.
And also I'm not trying to be a role model or try to sell myself as someone who knows everything. If anything, it's the complete opposite.
Right.
And when I do give advice, again, I'm not professional. It's just
You
like
started this because you didn't know.
I started because I didn't know, and then I had to learn the hard way. And
Exactly.
so when people ask, I'm like, based off of what I've learned, this is that. But again, I'm still learning. Like will forever still keep learning.
For
So
sure.
just keep that in mind next time I say something stupid.
I'm weak.
But anyways,
Yeah.
what's been up with you and your dating life? What can you talk about? Because I feel like you give. Should we not?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. My dating life. Yeah, I mean,
love your dating life. I just want to start that off.
You do?
Yes, it's a mess.
It's
and
interesting.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's a mess, but it's not.
Yes, it's a controlled mess.
You know what it is? It's not even a mess. I want to take that word out. It's what dating is supposed to be.
Yes, which is a mess. Especially dating in this city. There's no formula. There's no rhyme. There's no rhythm. I feel like in smaller cities it may be easier because you know the kind of people that you're going to meet, but
and also it's like you're slim pickings.
Yeah, slim pick. Like in Texas, you may have a certain Texas culture that you may expect, but here it's like the freaking melting pot, like from all walks of life.
Every single person you meet is from somewhere new.
Different,
right?
That you've never had different experiences. So dating here is literally like I don't even know. It is a mess, but it's a beautiful mess, you know.
Yeah, and I just feel like
what
how is your dating experience? Like, what apps are you on?
Okay,
like
I
want Jess to reveal everything, but I'm just we'll see what she can reveal because I know off air I know what's going on.
Oh my gosh! So I started off on Hinge. I've been on Hinge for maybe 2 years or something. I go on and off Hinge because but then I was like, let me just try Tinder. So I've also been on Tinder. And then my one of my really close friends, shout out to Lena, she met her husband and her now fiance, they just recently got engaged, and she met him on Bumble. So I was like, oh, maybe I should join Bumble. So I'm on all three of those apps. I do go on quite a few dates. I guess there's so many stories. I don't even know where to start.
Can we talk about that?
Which one? The Nigerian one? Yeah, we can talk about the Nigerian one.
Okay, let's talk about that one because that one, like, even if we just talk about that story,
I'm dying how you were like Nigerian.
Because I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about it or not.
I'm probably never gonna see that man again. So my name is Bennett, and I definitely am not in it.
Okay. So this man.
Yeah. So obviously Nigerian. I date mainly Ghanaians. This is my real first time like meeting a Nigerian.
Oh wow.
Dating a Nigerian guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel like I didn't know that.
I know a lot of people because I don't know why. A lot of people think I dated Nigerians, but this is my first.
Oh, okay.
And I often don't. And this is not for any reason, but even African American men, I don't really often go on dates with them. Who have I been dating?
You always date African. You like I didn't realize there's so many.
Yeah, but majority of them have been like Ghanaian that have like actually gone somewhere.
Right.
But I've heard some things about Nigerian men, and obviously I've been like a bit skeptical. And even when I told my mom, she was like, I don't think that's gonna work. And I was like, girl, whatever. And so the first I met him on Tinder.
Which is your parents just know.
My parents be knowing. I can't even lie, because I was like, Mom, you don't know what you're talking about.
It's not that she knows the type, but she knows you.
Yeah, she knows me. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we match on Tinder. Everything is great. He asked me out on a date. Same day we match. And I was like, sure. And that's what my dating life is. I don't really psychoanalyze things. I'm just like, this is my year of yes. So I'm just saying, sure, let's go on a date. Let's see where it goes.
Right.
And then, so also another thing I've been trying lately is I'm on a mission to live a very soft life. And
a soft life?
A soft life.
What's a soft life?
I just want things to come to me softly. I want like Ubers to be called.
Okay.
And I want just
So yeah,
make
yeah,
my
yeah.
life easier.
Right, right,
You
right,
know,
right.
anybody that knows me knows that I really don't like driving. Just don't
You
like
don't
it.
like
I don't
driving.
like driving.
We went to Target the other day, and I was like, "Oh, do you like?"
I didn't even bring my
You're
keys.
like,
No, ma'am. No,
she's
sir.
like, I didn't, yeah,
Nah.
yeah. I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm driving."
I have a very special friend. She's very beautiful,
Mm.
but she always gets these certain caliber of men, and they're good men, very educated. They're educated, got good jobs, and they treat her nicely. And I was like, I must be doing something wrong because I'm never getting these men. So I'm texting her. I was like, how do I get a guy to send me like an Uber to pick me up to take me to the restaurant?
Yes, you've had that before, but they just offered.
Yeah, they just offered.
Yeah, how do you just get a guy to get you
So
an Uber?
exactly. That's I
This
was like,
is really
how do
good.
you?
Yeah.
So she says, just be like, hey, she's like, ask very casually, but don't be like, hey, send me an Uber now, like,
Right, I was
and just be like, hey, comma, do you mind getting me an Uber? Question mark. And
That's
so
so upfront and
stra-
polite.
yeah, and just
But so scary.
yes.
What? Okay.
But then I was also thinking about why is that scary for us? Why is that? Why do we? I mean, and even
because
when
we always want to seem
independent,
convenient and independent.
exactly, and that's how
Convenient,
I was.
but not convenient. It's weird.
And even when I used to go on dates, I was very, you know how they say girls like fake pull out their card? I real pulled out my card because I never wanted a man to feel like I'm taking
yeah.
advantage of them. But then at the end,
Or you like pretend to go to the bathroom.
yeah, like I'm always prepared. If I go out anywhere, I'm prepared to pay for myself. That's kind of, but it's in a bit.
But see, okay, I've been traumatized once.
Yes.
Because I went on a date. This was like when I was like 22 or whatever. I went on a date and I was like 21, 22. And I was like, whatever, like free dinner, like he'll pay. I literally had no money because I think I just started a job and like I just had no money. Like I literally think I had like $2 in my account. And I went, but I was like, it's fine. He's going to pay for everything. And so I went on the date and, movie paid for, it's fine. We go to dinner afterwards and the bill comes. And I do the pretend card thing as if I had money in there. And then he's like, no, I got it. And I was like, oh, cool, cute, thank you. And then
please don't tell me his card declined.
It declined. And
I would have melted. Honestly, to me, that's a deal breaker.
Yes.
For me.
Was
it a fraud alert?
It was a fraud thing.
Oh, thank God.
So it wasn't like he didn't have money, but he was like, fuck, like, do you like...
No, call your bank. Call up Chase,
yeah,
sir.
Which
Bank
exactly,
of America, I can dial it for you.
And I was
Here's
like, I was like, actually, like, I don't know what I said. I forgot what my reason was why I couldn't do it. But he's like, okay, like, well, no, don't worry. Let me call my bank. I might just have to like run to the ATM and just like do it or whatever it was. So it was like this whole thing. And I just remember like, oh my God, what if he's like not able to get the money though? Like I only have like $2 in my account. Like this is so nerve wracking.
Oh
and then
my
eventually like after like this whole, like he left, I was sitting there by myself and eventually he like came back and he had like, thank God. Oh my God, if he like died
if
and
he,
dashed. I was worried because I was like, he could just dip right now. But he was also like, he seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah,
so I was
you
like,
can tell.
Yeah. So he, finally came back and then paid for it. But I was like, afterwards, I was like, when I went home, I was like sweating because I was like, oh my God, like how embarrassing. Like I think that was my lesson learned. Like don't go out on a date until you have money in your bank account.
Yeah.
Because like if shit hits the fan and they can't pay for it, like at least
you
like
have to be able to cover yourself. And that's why, and in LA you just never know what, like I've had a guy say, well, let me finish this story before I go into another one. But so essentially that's what my friend tells me to do. And then I kind of get cold feet because I'm like, damn, this is the first date. I don't want to seem like that's, because on the internet, you're always seeing these, these threads about girls, trying to get a free meal and all that stuff.
Right.
And I think we're all trying to not be that girl.
Right.
And prove that we're not that girl.
Right.
That we kind
we're
of.
not trying to use
we're not. But then I was also just thinking, honestly, the way you want to be treated, you have to put that out at the gate. So if 100%. I'm saying that I want an Uber out the gate, that's my standard. But if I'm like, I'm going to do everything myself.
And if you can't reach that standard?
And if you can't reach that standard, I'm sorry, you're just not for me. Try somebody else.
Right.
At the end of the day. So I was like, okay, I'm really going to do it. So then I text her again. I was like, hey, are you sure it's okay to ask him to send me an Uber on the first date? and I press send. I look at the message. Girl, I sent that to him.
Okay.
I died.
Yeah,
I died. I was Jesus. I died and I rose again. I was calling all my friends. I was like, my friends were picking up. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was panicking.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this date's over. I did my wig and my makeup for no reason. Like, he's not gonna
just find another day.
Yeah, I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But he actually texted back and was like, absolutely no problem. It's fine. He was like, of course, I'll send you one.
And we're going to bookmark this part because this is important for later in the story.
Yeah. He was like, I'll send you Uber, no problem. So he calls me an Uber Black. He calls me an Uber Black. The Uber Black is here, but my pants broke. And so it left.
Oh, shit. Wait, so then he called you another Uber?
So he called me another Uber, and then but then our date was supposed to be at 9. At this time,
still get charged for that?
Oh, I'm sure I didn't care.
Right. I'm all like concerned.
My card was not on file.
Yeah.
Which is so bad to say, but whatever. Yeah. So then, actually, he calls another Uber, and but our date was supposed to be at 9, but it was like at 10:30 at this time. Girl, I was late.
Yeah, you're always late.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're supposed to start at 5 and it's 7.
Okay. Is it? This is crazy.
I think it was like 4:30. I'm almost done getting ready to go to your room. You're still in here. You're still in like your pajamas. Like no, like
I was watching Bling Empire. Those are my girls. My Asian
figured.
Girls.
I estimated if I say 5, it's starting
7,
at 7,
which is perfect.
Yeah.
So he actually ends up picking me up in a very nice Mercedes Benz, and I was like, okay, cute.
Yeah.
And we get in the car, and honestly, the vibe was so great. We had a great conversation. I was like, I've known him for a while. He was like, hey, it's late. Are you okay? We're going to Fogo de Chao. Like, it's fine. And I was just like,
God.
okay.
Yeah.
I guess Fogo will just have to do. But then,
no big deal. Yeah.
Whatever. But no, I was like, sure, that's no problem. Get to the restaurant. Awesome. Like, he opens my door, pays for valet. We go in and eat. He was like, order anything you like. He was like, anything you want. Like, it was just a great time.
Right.
Get back home. We're talking. Like, we go back to his place, and we're literally just talking till like 3 a.m, just talking on his couch, listening to like music. It was real cute. And I was like, this man is nice. He's Nigerian, which I liked. He treats me well.
He got you 2 Ubers.
He got me 2 Ubers.
Right.
He got money, and he's Christian. And he lives like in Hollywood in this nice apartment. And I was like, this is my soft life I've been asking for. Thank you, Lord. This is my man.
This is it. You manifested
I manifested this. I was like, this is him. Like, he he treated me like a princess. And like, we agreed upon everything. And we're talking about deep stuff, like as far as marriage, kids, like what we wanted.
Right.
And I feel like that's also something different when you're dating like close to your 30s. Because
no one ever wants to talk about that.
No one. And that's what I really liked about him. Because I hate let's see what happens, nigga. I don't like that.
No,
I don't like that.
That's what dating in your 20s is like.
Yes.
Like,
let's see.
Like, dating in your 20s
I don't have
like,
time.
We don't know. I'm focusing on my career.
Yeah.
And then, like, when you're dating in your 30s, you're also, like, more secure with yourself.
Yeah.
And you're willing to just talk about, like, well, this is what I want.
Right.
Because
exactly.
you know what you want. You know yourself more.
And if you can't give me that, it is perfectly fine. But you're just not for me. And that's why I'm not afraid to have those conversations, because I don't want to waste my time. I value my time. And honestly, I fuck with me. I like being by myself.
You do.
So at the end of the day, like, if you're not going to add value to my life, then you're just not supposed to be here. So on the first date, I always get these things out the way, so I know if anything's gonna progress.
I'm such an. You know what I had? Sorry, I'm gonna bring this up. 6 and her sister came on and were like, no, never talk about how you like what you want when you first started dating somebody.
No.
That's dating in your
20s.
And
after
like
27, you should 27, 28.
I mean, you're not even 30 yet, but you're dating like you in your 30s.
Because at the end of the day, you're setting.
You're almost 30.
Yeah, I'm nearly 30.
Yeah,
and that's probably what it is. And I don't feel like, oh my God, I have to get married. I am 100% at peace with myself. I'm okay being single, and I feel like if you're gonna come into my life, I shouldn't be happier by myself than I am when someone like than being with someone. Like,
right.
come and overflow my cup, but you're not gonna fill my cup, you know? And
Yes.
so, and that's where
That was great. That was
that's
really great.
that's what I want to be,
Right.
because so many of us, especially in our early 20s, I was at like a 35%. I was drawing all these men to try and fill me up to that 100%.
Right.
You
You're
know?
looking for validation.
You're looking for validation.
You're looking for someone to love you because
Yes.
you don't
It's
really
just like,
love yourself
exactly.
yet.
I was like, I just want to be loved. I want to be taken care of. I
Right.
just want someone to tell me I'm pretty and
Right.
to validate
Take
my
care of
feelings and to care.
you.
And then
Right.
that's why I was allowing so much stuff. I was like, I would be like, okay, I want a God-fearing man. And then a man will come along and be like, he'll probably buy me something nice. I'm like, but he's not God-fearing. I'm like, okay, he bought me something nice. So the God-fearing part, maybe I can like introduce him to church later on. Like maybe I can like just
You
make
could change him.
You can change him. And that's
Ugh.
that's the big thing in your 20s. You feel like you can change a nigga. Let me save y'all some time. You can't.
No.
When
no.
a man says something, believe what he says. You know,
Exactly.
you can't change him. He was gonna have to want to change for himself.
If a man wants to be with you, he'll be with you.
He'll be with you, and that's
Like-
what I'm realizing. But that's also what attracts me to the Nigerian guy, because he was very clear about what he wanted. He was really, I want to be in a relationship. I like you. I think this could go somewhere. Let's work on it. You know,
Right.
Girl, I ended up spending a few days at this man's house. We would just, and it wasn't like sex or anything. We were just
Yeah.
like vibing. We're like, I
Just
would
kind of feeling like playing
feeling
house,
the vi-
playing
playing
house a
house.
little bit,
and
just
honestly,
to see if it fits.
I'm not mad at it. I
Right.
feel like if I wouldn't do that with every man, but with a man, like I think I learned so much about him in that
Right.
time. I learned his like process. We got into like, I introduced him to Married at First Sight, and we watched a whole
Brian
watched.
loves that show.
We binge watched the whole season together.
Yeah.
And it was cute playing house. I would like wake up in the morning, make my coffee, start work, and he would play FIFA. And it was just like a
Yeah.
vibe, you know?
Right.
I was like, I can get used to that.
See, like, I mean, that's kind of a risky thing though, because I feel like you're able to do that because you know that if it doesn't work, it's fine. But sometimes people do that and then they like think that they'll like deal, I don't know. They think that that's like, oh my God, and they fall in love with it and they try to hold on to it.
Oh, I'm not even going to lie for 1 second and say I didn't fall in love with the
idea.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie and say that the idea, like it's almost like the fantasy that I was living in for that week. It was like, oh, I could this feels nice. Like,
Right.
obviously I love being by myself, but then I think sometimes when you've been by yourself for so long, you forget what it feels like to be with somebody else.
Oh, 100%.
And so when I was able to really experience that with someone else, I was like,
Oh,
I missed this feeling.
Right.
I forgot what this felt like. And it kind of feels nice to like see someone in the morning, you know?
Right.
And it kind of feels nice for someone to, and he was very like, we went on a date to Dave and Buster's. It was
Oh,
cute, you know,
right.
and just really getting to like know each other, talk about everything under the sun. And it was a crash course in how this would work. And it was working so well. And I was like, this could go somewhere, to the point that I told one of my ex, I was like, honestly, I know you've been calling me, but I might be seeing somebody else. So, girl, I was stirring somebody's pot. I was.
That's another thing too. We have so much to talk about because your
I was
ex,
in there like a chef. I was like, be sick about it. You missed it.
right.
Girl, I think that's probably what God was like, oh, you thought, girl. Like, look, God was like, get back in line because you ain't ready.
Right,
But
right.
all was well until the last day of Friday. And I cooked for him also. I cooked him curry chicken. It was bomb.
No, I love your curry.
Thank
I know I love your chicken masala.
Oh, yeah.
so good.
I do. I make a good curry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can cook. I can clean. One thing a man will never say about Jessica is that she doesn't keep man. Like, I'm good at making a man feel loved and
Right.
valued and protected. And I think that energy is what really draws men to me. But I think that's even men that are not willing to commit to me, they crave that motherly. I guess it's like a motherly.
Right.
People feel like at home with me. They feel comfortable. They feel like they can let their
Even as a friend, I feel that way with you. Like,
thank you.
you know what Brian said? Brian was like, I feel like you only. It's like I feel like you only listen to like Nina and Jess, and like you don't ever like listen to me. But then like he's like, I'll say something, and then if Nina or Jess says it to you, you're like, okay.
But that's for deeper reasons. That's because you don't like being told nothing.
Right. Which that can probably be it. I'd be like, because, he's like my partner, so it's more stubborn towards him. But he's like, I feel like Nina and Jess, though, just have a way of just like comforting you and like validating you.
There has to be a balance.
Right,
and you have to feel that. I think with a partner, it's a bit different. No matter how long you've been with them, it's always going to be a bit harder to hear something from
your partner,
a
for
partner,
sure, 100%.
you know? And so Friday comes around, girl. It's Friday morning. I wake up, I grab my laptop, child. I go over to the couch and he's playing FIFA. And I'm like,
okay,
this is great.
FIFA.
I was like, I'm up. And I'm like rubbing his back. I'm like, hey, what do you want for breakfast? When was the last time y'all asked a man what you want for breakfast?
Never. Brian makes breakfast for me.
See. So I was like, what do you want for breakfast? And I was like, you want this? I was giving him options. You want this? You want that? No, I don't want it. No, I don't feel like that. No. And I was like, okay. I was like, we need water. I'm on Instacart. What do you want me to, I'm on Instacart. Like, what do you want? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, well, I'm getting the water anyway. So what, is there anything else? And he basically said to me, he was like, oh, I don't want you to you spend your money like that. He was like, I was like, okay. So I just got the water.
Okay.
I got cereal. And I was eating cereal on the couch. He was there. And you know what's so funny? In my mind, for a split second in that moment, I was like, damn, why am I eating and he hasn't eaten? For a split second, I thought that. I was like, this isn't right,
Right.
But then I was like, but I've also been asking him what he wants. And
right. Maybe he's just not hungry.
Maybe I was like,
yeah, he just doesn't know.
And I even asked him, I was like, are you hungry? He was like, not right now. And then, so that goes on. The water comes, he goes, I DoorDash everything because I'm lazy. I don't like to drive. I pay for subscription for DoorDash, so might as well use it, child.
Right.
So they come, and he looks in the bag, and he was like, oh, this is it? And I was like, yeah, the water. Like, you told me not to spend my money. And the fact that I bought water with my own money.
You're like,
I didn't even say, because we went to Target.
I'm fucking giving you water. Okay.
And this is another thing that I loved. And this may be the materialistic part of me, but as I said, I'm aiming for the soft life. Like, we went to Target. He drove me there, smile, and in his Mercedes, and it was like, yeah, let's go to Target. And he was like, babe, do you mind if I just wait in the car? And I was like, sure. He was like, here's my card. I'll text you my PIN. Energy. I love that energy. Give me. I was like, I was shocked personally.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if I go to Target, I was gonna. This Target,
Right.
Girl, I went to Target. I was like, well, since I'm staying...
For your first, what was your first intention going into Target?
Well, I actually wanted to go to Target to get some new underwear because I had to do my laundry here and I was staying there. So I was like, I need to grab underwear. I was going back. But then we also need to get some stuff for that was the night I was cooking curry. So I wanted to get rice and...
Okay, so ingredients. Okay, cool.
And then I ended up I was like, oh, underwear, cool. Oh, these pajamas are cute. Let me just grab these pajamas. He ain't gonna miss it. I was like, it was expensive.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, and tomorrow I probably need a change of clothes because I've been wearing this for a day. So I grabbed a basic.
You went to
actually, it was these shorts that I'm wearing. Shout out to you, my man. Thank you. These shorts I'm wearing. To be fair, though, I think I paid for one thing with my card, but everything else I put it in his card.
It's Target, whatever.
And he didn't. And I got back in the car and I just gave him his card back, and he didn't.
He didn't ask any. Can I have the receipt and that thing?
If he did, I'll be like, let me run back in real quick. I'm like, I think I left it. Let me go back out. Pretend on the shit.
That's true. I always just throw it out.
No, but he didn't ask me about it. But when I went home, I was like, yeah, I just grabbed a couple things. He did not care. He's not gonna miss.
Right.
It was $60, $70. It's fine.
It's fine.
Anyway, going back, that was probably going back to. Oh, and then going back to Friday, but even before. That Friday was the final, but then I think it was on a Wednesday we had the baby situation where I wasn't pregnant, guys. Well, so we were just because I said we're talking about a lot of deep things what we're doing with life, all this kind of stuff, and so I started telling him I want to have my children in England. I want to.
Oh, this was this guy. I didn't realize.
Yeah, it was the same person.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so this was on a Wednesday, I was like, yeah, I want to have my children in England, have them born there. That's where I was born. My family's there, and there's free
And healthcare is better.
healthcare is
right.
free at least.
Right.
And so he was like, no, that would never happen. I was like,
Mm.
huh?
Like, didn't even like give
He was
you
like,
a chance
no.
to explain yourself.
Mm-mm. And then he was like, why would you even want to do that? And I was like, well, all the reason that I was born there, free
Right.
healthcare. He was like, I told him all those reasons, and he said, no, if I'm living in America, my child is being born in America. And he did not care. I could have told him that America was burning down and England's our only refuge. He would have been like, no. And he said, racism is everywhere. I'm having my kid here. How can you say where my kid is going to be born? How can you say that? I was like,
not even giving you a chance to have a discussion, just straight up, just like your opinion
yes,
and your wants don't matter.
They do not matter because, and I think in his mind, it was almost like,
he could have been like, just listen and heard
Yes.
you out and maybe express that, like,
let me go and do more research.
right. Or like been like,
And I told him about like how I've been seeing like Black women's experience when
Right.
having a child here is a bit,
It was the whole
and not
thing.
to say that I was like, I'm not saying England
America's
is any
healthcare is
better.
fucked. America's
But I
healthcare
was
is
like, at
fucked
least
up.
it's free,
Right.
And so, yeah, he was not having it. As far as he was concerned, there are certain decisions that he can compromise on, but the ones that he wasn't willing to compromise on, I should be okay with it because he's the man. And that's when I was like, noted, cool.
Right.
I was like, it's fine. I let that go.
We're gonna tuck in that red flag. We'll keep that.
I was
noted.
like, that's noted, cool. I've known this guy. I was like, maybe, I don't even know what I thought. I was like, whatever.
But also, it's like to like assume, like, you could have just been talking about it. Like, I feel like it's too early to be like, it's my, like, no, it's my kid. It's
Yeah.
like y'all didn't. Yeah, it's just.
But thank
y'all,
God he's told me that because
Right.
let's say, for example, I didn't ask those questions and I waited,
That's true,
a year or two.
Again, saying up front what you want.
Saying upfront what you want. That's the thing. I revealed so much in that week period. And that made me know I didn't have to wait 6 months to realize this man is not the man for me. I feel like I saved so much
Right.
time. But obviously not with everyone, but with this specific guy. So Friday comes along, and then we go through the whole breakfast thing, and he doesn't want anything. The water comes. Then he starts pacing up and down the room, which he does often. But then he's like, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that I'm so hungry. How can you eat in front of me and then not have me
He
eat
said,
anything?
how can you eat in front of me? And, oh my
Yes.
God.
How can you eat in front of me and not have me eat? I know that I'm not eating. I was like, I saw you eat, and he ate something. He was like, yes, I had the rice and I had the chicken. He was like, the meal I had didn't even go together. He was like, how can you just allow me to eat something like that? Like, why? He was like, I've told you this before, how important food was to me. And then he was like, I just noticed you don't even cook. You don't cook. And he was like, that's not gonna work for me. Like, something you have to change. You have to change. And I was like,
What the fuck?
girl. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that I was a housewife. The thing, I was baffled. I looked at him, and I looked at him, and I was like, excuse me?
Like, he could have expressed that in a totally different way. Like,
But for you to say, well, there's a couple of things there.
so many
There's
things
so many
here.
things there. One, you're acting like a child. You're throwing
Yes.
a temper tantrum because you did not get food and you were
Hungry.
You're not even that you didn't get food. You did not get the food that you wanted, even though I later on, so yeah, let me finish this part. So I just looked at him. I didn't even say a word. I was like, yeah, I'm going home. I grabbed my stuff. I was out the door. And I was like, this is it for me. Like, this
Deal
is
breaker.
all deal breaker.
Like, this is not even just like, maybe this is something I can work this out. No,
No.
deal breaker. Like, you don't want to
In
be
my
treated
mind,
like that.
I was just like, no. Like, if you
you're
think
not his fucking mom.
I'm not your mom, and I'm not the one, and I'm not the two. Like, and it wasn't what he was saying; it was how he said it. And the fact that you think that you can just talk to me that way.
And also, can we, like, you mentioned this in Target,
Yeah.
that you work
I did.
and he doesn't.
He makes money through other means. Yeah.
Right.
He's not like obviously legal means, but yeah.
Right,
I don't
yeah,
want
it's not,
all
like,
his
shady.
business out there.
Right.
But
But like, but he doesn't have like the 9 to 5. Like
No.
he has time on his hands.
He was playing FIFA that morning.
Right.
So
And you have a job.
and later when I asked him, because so I went to the elevator. I called my homegirl who is African, who's dated a Nigerian, but she's Ghanaian. And I asked her, I was like, yo, I'm at the elevator. I'm about to leave. I told her what happened. She was like, Jess, he's just like, it's just food. Like, you guys can figure it out. Like, just go back. And also another thing, so my birthday's coming up, the 30th.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound so bad. But I was talking to him about my birthday, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do because I want to go to Mexico, but that couldn't work out. And I was like, I want to get an Airbnb in LA. I was like, but they're like $5,000 for like 2 nights. And I was like, but he was like, oh no, if you're with me, don't worry about that. He was like, I'll pay for that. He was like, I'll make sure you have the most amazing birthday. And maybe that's probably what had me sticking around.
Right.
I was like, if I don't get anything, I'll be at least let me get.
Right.
But
I'm gonna bookmark that because I have thoughts about that. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
Before I interrupt.
So I go back in, talk to him, and we just have we have a long conversation, but we never come to a good conclusion because I'm pissed at this point because I wanted him to understand that. Well, I was pissed for a few reasons. One, because of some of the things he said, such as, oh, you're a woman, you're just supposed to know what I want. I didn't think I needed to explain what I wanted. And I responded to him by saying, well, I've known you for a few days, so no.
Yeah, how are you supposed to? How are you supposed to read his
I'm not a
fucking
mind reader. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. And I was like, two, like I'm working and you're playing FIFA, and I was like, I don't, And he was like, well, he said, I didn't think about that. And then
Of course he
that was
didn't.
the second.
He's only thinking about himself.
The third, and to him,
and his idea of what he wants.
he wants in a woman, which is fine. There's some men that are like that. Does not me.
Right.
He wants someone that he wants a housewife.
Right.
That may have a little side, the woman that used to sell Mary Kay on the side on Bubbles at Home. That's what he wants.
Mary Kay, not the Mary Kay.
Yeah, girl, that's what he wants. The Avon ladies. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
That's what he liked.
Right.
Because in his mind, he was like, I'm paying for all of this for you. Like, I'm paying, I'm giving you food, I'm buying you your $5,000 home, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm taking you on dates and spending money on you. I'm covering you on that end. So, this is your part to play, and you're not doing it. Which is, again, I was raised in Ghana for 10 years. I understand that mindset.
Right.
But it's just not for me.
Right.
Because one thing I'm going to do is make my own money. One thing I'm going to do is talk about partnership. Like,
right.
And again, I wanted, the thing is, I didn't have a problem with him saying that.
It's the delivery.
It was definitely the delivery. It was the fact that I was asking him constantly, what you wanted. I was making, it's not like I was like, he asked him once.
Right.
I was asking him multiple times. I was about to order things from Instacart with my own money. I was about to fry my egg, even though I was working as well. I was willing to put that to the side and do all of that.
Right.
But he did not as an adult should, he didn't vocalize what he wanted because he thought I should know. He
wanted a mother.
He wanted a mother.
That's the thing is it's okay to want a guy to pay for the bills and all that stuff. And obviously, and I get the traditional values. There's people like that, not for me either. But where, okay, I'm paying for all of this, but you can't expect someone to know what the dynamic is in the relationship. It goes to show, no matter, there should have been communication. If he was if you guys agreed, okay, he pays the bills, you're you do this is what I expect of you, and then you're this is what I expect of you, then but yeah,
and yeah, so those were kind of the things for me that, and I didn't like the fact that, and he also said something to me that he said a lot of things that kind of struck me. He was almost basically telling me that I should have heard what he said and basically been quiet. He was almost just hear what I have to say and shut up. Just take it, you shouldn't. It was almost like he was.
He didn't like that.
He
You
was
were like,
offended by me even defending myself. He was offended by that because
that's why that's why I always felt so weird about having a guy spend so much money
Yeah.
on me, because I don't want someone to control me.
Yeah.
Because my boyfriend from high school, 5 to 10 years, 15 to 20 years old. Like, granted we were young, but like his family had money. He just had a credit card that he could literally buy whatever he wants, do whatever he wants, all that stuff. So I was along for the ride. Like, he took care of me.
Yeah.
He fed me, he took care of me. And there's just been times where, like, I'm acting up or whatever I'm doing, and he's just like, I've been paying, like, I like pay for everything. And like, I don't know. It was just like the sense of just like he kind of, he wasn't like too controlling, but he had those moments.
He used that as a weapon.
As like, why are you doing this? I do this. Like, use it as a weapon.
Exactly.
And so, and then end up like dumping me. So it was just kind of like.
And let me make sure I make this very extremely clear. I do believe in courting a woman, and I do believe it's important to show. Obviously, money is not everything. I've never had a guy like buy me a Chanel bag. That's never been my standard. But then I realized my standards are very low. And I realized, like, honestly, the fact that I go on dates expecting to pay, I guess there was some trauma there. Because in college, my boyfriend was flying me to Italy to come and see him.
Right.
Like, And so I was just like, I just want to have I want someone to treat me like I'm a prize,
Right.
And then I also believe in you pay for the first day, I'll pay for the second day.
Right.
And there's going to be a balance there. But I do want to see that I know how much I'm bringing to the table. I know how much effort I'm going to pour into you.
Right.
I know how much love I'm going to give you.
Because you're so loving. You're so loyal.
Put some respect on my name. Like, I want to see that you can level up to the amount of love that because I've been with so many people that don't level up to the amount of love that I'm willing to give.
Right.
And then but I'm getting so deep so quickly that I don't even realize that. Or they don't put work in, and then it just goes downhill from there, It's like, well, I got her without doing anything, so why should I do something now that I have her, Like, so it's just certain things like that you just want to set certain precedents when you're starting to like date. That's what, for me, anyway.
Yeah, whatever that looks like for you.
Whoever.
Like, for me, it was really just like, it wasn't like I needed like certain, him to pick me up, like certain things like that, like materialistically. But for me, I just needed like the emotional validation, like like I needed like a lot of validation, like from Brian, and like I was very upfront of what I wanted. So like that, there's just like certain things that we all do, and it looks like a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. And for me, it's just the balance. I want to be treated good, but I also want you to validate me. Like, I want just it's a good balance. But yeah, with the Nigerian guy, he is a great guy. He has great qualities about him. I don't want it to seem like I'm just bashing, because honestly, he's a great person. He's just not a great person for me,
Right.
And what the things that
and there's a woman out there who would want to do that for a man.
There's a woman that wants to be at home looking after the kids, and that is no problem.
There's no
with
problem, because
that.
you know what? That takes a lot of fucking work.
A lot of work.
Like, we have to give housewives their fucking credit. Like,
because to cook one meal, I was like, I don't cook for myself anymore. Bear in mind, I'm just like, honestly,
we be tired.
I'm so tired.
Right.
And that's the thing. I was just like, I'm so. And you know what's crazy? I think also why I was offended, there was a bit of shame for me.
Wait, he also said something to you that was fucked up.
Oh yeah, he was like
that was what set me off.
So that was when we were in the car. We could never come to a consent. I was even trying to like diffuse the situation.
Right.
And like, I apologize. I was like, because I was kind of shouting at him. I apologize for that, and I was like, okay. In the future, I'll make sure I make something. I was like trying to figure it out. I really was trying to work it out. Yeah. Because I didn't even know if I said this, but after I went to the elevator, my friend calmed me down. I went back. We tried to talk about it. He dropped me home, and we were talking about it in the car. And there was a few things he said. I was like, a relationship should be a 50-50. Like, it's a partnership, And then he said, yeah, you said that before. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. How, and I was just
but that's what he wants, though. Like, he wants to pay all the bills, and then he wants them to take it. That's 50-50. But 50-50 looks different for everybody.
Yeah, 50-50 for him looks like I have 50-50 for him looks like
You also make decisions.
exactly. Like it's okay. It's okay
No.
for you to have your
No.
opinion,
But he makes the decisions.
If I'm okay with like there's certain topics. It's almost like there's certain topics where I don't mind compromising on. But the ones that I'm firm on, even if you disagree, that does not matter.
Yeah.
What I want goes. You know,
Right.
it's different also from, for example, my dad. If he ever says anything like that to my mom would trust him because it may have been from a spiritual point of view, you
Right.
know? So if it was something that was more of, hey, babe, hold on, you know, like
Right.
I'm just, something in my gut is telling me not to move right now. There's a certain way to how to say it.
Yes.
But then there's also,
he's obviously clear.
There's also
he sucks at communicating.
Yeah, there's
clearly.
a safety in that. Like, and there's that my parents have been married for over 30 years. It takes trust in someone. Like when my dad went to my mom when I was 5 years old and was like, hey, God told me that we need to move to Ghana, Africa. For my mom to trust her husband to move her family to Ghana, Africa, where we've never been before from England, that takes a different level of trust.
For sure.
I'm also like, nigga, I've known you for a week.
Right.
So,
like, let that shit build.
Like,
don't have these expectations of a housewife in the first fucking week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, if he's already that controlling the first week,
Girl,
can you imagine?
Can you imagine if I had a ring on my finger?
Like like he's looking for like the submissive type that he can control and like control with his money and be like, okay, you do things for me, but I still make the decisions. I still
and I'm gonna give you a little bit of rope so that you also just feel validated.
But like at the end of the day,
more like decisions on what we're gonna eat. Like if I want chicken and you want beef, then we can go with beef. You know, I like beef too.
Right,
that kind of thing.
Like it's just weird. It's just.
And then he said to me,
that is like the total opposite of what. Like I feel like if I ever dated a man like that man would just hate me off the bat. Like he probably would have just met me like and been like, nope. She don't cook. She don't clean.
And I was definitely doing that. I was cleaning. But apparently I didn't cook enough for him because cooking once. Like it was not. He wanted me in there 3 days.
Right.
3 days, everyday meal.
God.
Like everyday meal. Like he wanted to make sure.
Like breakfast, lunch and dinner. While you're working.
While I'm working full time while he plays FIFA. Shout out to you though. And then the final nail in the coffin was when he said, because he mentioned, I said to him in the car when we were outside this apartment, I was like, if my dad ever heard you speak to me
you skipped over what he said.
Oh no, this is how it led up to that. Because I said to him,
I was there and knew.
I was like, the way you spoke to me was unacceptable. I saw it in his face. Did not like that. I felt like his face looked like I had given him the ultimate disrespect.
Because you're an alpha female.
I said it's unacceptable and it cannot happen. I said if my dad ever heard you say anything like that, it would not be cute. And he was like, well, that's probably why men leave you. I said, huh? I said, excuse me? Wait, what was that?
I just gasped as if I heard it for the first time, but every single time it fucks me up.
Every girl I've told this story to, they're like, same expression. He was like, that's probably why. I said, first of all, honey, I didn't even say, I said, you know, there's certain things in life that you can respond to.
You need to show me a picture later.
Okay.
Continue.
There's certain things in life that I respond to with energy, but I'm very secure in myself. So there's also certain things I don't feel the need to defend.
Right.
That was one of them. Because I know that men don't leave me. I leave them because of commitment. Like,
yeah, and he doesn't fucking
and he
know
doesn't
you.
know me from Adam.
Like that's just him trying to break you down to realize like, oh wait, you're right. That's why. So let me
try to put me back in my place.
Right, exactly. Oh, like okay, let me like you're right. I don't want them to like keep leaving me. So let me try to.
Yes, and I think it wasn't even. It was that, and I think it was the entirety of. Men leave me because I don't listen. Men leave me because when they say something, I talk back.
And you don't
men
cook
leave,
and clean.
I'm not cooking 3 days. I think when he said this is why men leave you, I think that's what he was talking about. And to be honest,
and I think a lot of us, every single woman has felt who date men have felt this way about ever not feeling good enough for a man.
Yes.
Like, especially if you're like us, where you are, you're very dominant, but also very sweet and loving.
I'm very
But
soft.
our personalities are very
You're
dominant.
not going to disrespect
Right.
me.
We're going to speak our minds. We're
Yes.
independent. And I'm sorry, we don't cook and clean every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like there's that expectation for us as women
And the
when we
thing
date
is-
men where we have to be this. We've all felt
All
it.
felt it.
No
Exactly.
matter like where they're from, or like I feel like we've all felt that.
And the thing is, I don't mind cooking for my man. My husband, I will do that. I will make sure when
Right.
he comes home, I'll make sure there's food. But I've known you a
nothing
week.
Right. There's
I'm not
nothing
about
wrong.
to, because my mistake is that I give people too much
Right.
too soon. And
He wanted
I'm not going, and I'm like, no, I have to keep some of this for myself. Like,
right.
and then
Let it
slowly,
grow. It's
yeah,
only been a
slowly
week.
give, slowly give.
Right.
Because when you slowly give to someone, they appreciate the value of what you're giving.
Right.
Because it took, and the more work someone puts in to receive those gifts, like, and
If you give them all
not
at once,
if
and
you give
then-
all at once,
And then one day you're tired and they're gonna be like,
girl. But if they have to wait like a year,
Right.
for the whole of you, they will be like, damn, no, I put in work to get this. I'm gonna make
Right.
sure I keep it because
Right.
I didn't
But
get
also
this for
don't do that
free.
to manipulate the situation.
Of
I
course,
feel like that can be
don't- no, of
twisted.
course, yeah,
that can be
don't-
twisted. But I know what you're saying. Like in a sense of just like, but also it's really just to protect yourself.
It's to protect yourself.
Right.
And I don't think women necessarily do it to be manipulative. I think women
Some do.
but I'm saying like a lot of there's more women than not that give too much too soon.
Right. Oh, for sure. Oh, for
Than
sure.
women that don't.
We've all been there.
Yeah, there's more women
Mm.
than not that can relate to that at some point in their life. But then you don't find the balance. It's either you start to be manipulative or, you just start to be kind of heartless or cold. There's a balance in that,
Right.
And so I'm not saying it can take, for you, it may be 2 weeks. Because you're used to giving all away in a day.
Right.
But now you're
right.
giving away in 2 weeks. So it's like,
Right.
Improvement. But yeah, I'm trying to be just manage.
Right.
So when
I think when you meet the right one, though, it's just like you don't even think about like how much
Steph,
you should.
I'm trying to get. Everybody's my husband, so
I know. But I was like that too, though. Like maybe not as like as excessive as saying this is my husband, but I would fall,
Yeah.
and like I would give too much,
Yeah.
and like I would whatever, or I would give too much, or I just like wouldn't give it anything, but like behind the scenes I'm giving like that was a mess. But like my feelings I would give too much, or like my sex or whatever it is,
Yeah.
like I would really like be attached right away.
Right.
Even if I wasn't saying it, I'd be attached. But it's just like, you think like at those times when you think about the game of like, okay, is it ready to have sex? Is it time to do this?
Yeah.
Is it right to like go stay over at his house? Like, you get so particular and all this timing and when's the right time? And should I say I love you? Should I do that?
Yeah.
Like when you're with the right person, at least for me,
Mhm.
like you don't think about that. Like
Yeah.
it just happens.
For me, it's more tricky than that, girl. Because
Right.
one thing about me, I'm really good at connecting with people. You could be from,
I am too though.
but I think when you're so good at connecting with so many different people, every moment feels like a moment. If that makes sense. So
I mean, I felt that way.
But then how did you know it was the real moment?
When I didn't have anxiety.
See, I didn't have anxiety before.
Okay.
Like no, because
I always had anxiety.
No,
even though like I was in the like and like loving every single thing, I still had anxiety.
and that's probably honestly PTSD because I also go into things like this may not work. Every decision I make, I'm like, if this does not work, how would you feel? Because it's probably not going to work. And if I say I'll feel it would suck after, I don't do it. But if I'm like, yeah, if this ends tonight, I'll be happy. I'll be good. Like this was a
Right.
great night.
Right.
I'll go
well,
with
I
it.
think also, they say about anxiety, like it is okay to think about like what happens, like for instance, let's say if someone's scared of heights,
Yeah.
you don't put them at the tallest mountain or building
Right.
and have them get over their fear of heights.
Right.
You lead them like to smaller hills, and you
Yeah.
like bigger hills, and
Big,
just keep kind of
right,
gradually
right.
keep going and exposing to the point where they see every step of the way. And once they're finally at the top, they understand like, oh, like
Right.
it's fine,
Yeah.
And so I think like translating that to dating, it's like where am I going with this? My mind just went like you just kind of have to like, okay, you're worried if this doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So you think of like, you have to think of every step and think about what happens when it won't work out
Right.
and realize that like, and understand that you'll be fine. And I think that
Yeah.
takes like time and experience, like,
Definitely.
especially if like,
I just mastered that.
right, like, especially if you've been heartbroken before, you're like, okay, well, with so-and-so, this happened. It really fucking sucked.
Yeah.
I was so heartbroken. I went through this and then I was fine.
Yeah.
So it's like when you start dating someone new, like that's something that I would always tell myself to help. And I think that's why with Brian, it worked so well because I mean, right before him, I had Morgan, and that was like the most heartbreaking thing ever, you know? So I was just like, but then I knew that I was fine afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, even if I found out he cheated on me, I knew I was fine. And so when I went to Brian, I was like, you know, like, I'm just going to let it happen.
Right.
Because I know at the end of the day, if I will be fine.
Yeah.
So it's like that, like kind of small exposure.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
So,
no, 100%.
yeah. It's healthy dating.
Healthy dating.
That's why, like, when you meet the right person, I feel like it just feels different because you're like, I'll be fine. With or without you.
Yeah.
We could end up together and
that's
be
how
happily.
I go into everything.
Right.
Like, with or without
And
you.
that's why I feel it's such a difference
Yeah.
between you now and like before, because before you're like, he's my husband.
Yeah, because I don't need anything from
Right.
anyone. You know,
Right.
I truly do not need for me personally, anything I'm empty of, I ask God to fill for me. And that was
Right.
the game changer for me, because I was looking for other people to fill my emptiness when I had to do that. And I wasn't going to the ultimate source for it, my ultimate source.
Right.
And so when I started going to my ultimate source to fill me up, that's when, and then also obviously did my self-work, did therapy, saw a psychiatrist, got sober. It took work. It took work.
Right.
Going to the deepest, darkest parts of me that I was running from years, and really like ironing through those issues.
Again, it's like that was what helps treat.
That's what builds you up to 100.
Right.
And then some days I'm 80. But then I'm like, well, if I'm 80, then I know what I need to do to get me back to 100. But then I'm not 80 and be like, well, guess I got to go on a date now and have sex to try and feel 100 again. You know, or maybe I need to go and get drunk so I can feel 100 again. You know, those are the things those kind of unhealthy habits that you kind of gather are the things that I no longer look to. So now when I do go into dating, one, I'm sober, so that changes the whole game.
100% compared to like, yeah, because that's the thing.
Every decision.
You mentioned this when we were at Target, like you're saying, like
love Target. Obviously, shout out to Target.
You shout out to Target.
Sponsor us.
Because when you did tell me this, we were at Target and you talked about anyways. So yeah, hashtag not sponsored, but we love Target. But anyways. Like, I remember you said, like, the reason why you're not, like, the difference between now being almost 30 and where you were in your early 20s when you were drinking and you're sober now, it's like every decision that you make, you know, with a man, it's like, it's a sober decision.
Yes.
It's something that you know that, like, wholeheartedly you've decided to do. So you decided to live with this man and be his, you know.
And be
his girlfriend for,
like,
and it was for a week.
I wouldn't take it back for the world. Right. You know, But
when you're like drunk and you made these mistakes, you're like,
and you're guilty and you're like, what you know? But I think there is every situation, every guy that I meet, my discernment, I know whether this could go somewhere or it's not. But then I can take ownership of my hurt, you know. And I can go in situations, and what I mean by that is saying, I can go in a situation and be like, I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to go on another date with this guy because what he wants and what I want doesn't align. Right. And so I'm not even going to go further. Now, there are some people that are like, what he wants and what I want don't align, but at the same time, ooh, he intrigues me. You know, like, I love our conversation.
But this was a deal breaker.
Our energy.
This was a deal breaker.
What?
Like with this guy. It wasn't
him? Yeah. Not him. Just saying, like, but
in general.
Yeah, so just in general, like, even though long term you may not, but I also love moments. I love creating moments. I love living in moments. Hence why I was with that guy for a while. But I also know in my mind that, Jessica, if you do choose to do this, because right now you know this is not the guy that for you, so you're now making an active choice to getting to something
with someone that you know
is not for you. So you have to take ownership if you end up hurt. Are you willing to do that? And then whether it's a yes, sometimes it is. And whether it's a no, and if it is a yes, then I'm not going to be like, oh my God, this guy broke my heart. No, I broke my heart. I did this to myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for me, there's comfort and there's power in that because I don't have to look to somebody else to kind of ease my hurt or to validate me.
Right.
Because I made
You
that.
chose that.
I chose that for me.
Right.
And that's makes me, for me anyway, that gives me comfort. That gives me power. And I have the tools. I know what I need to do to fix that, to fix me. I don't have to look to somebody else to kind of fix what that guy broke. If that makes sense.
And you got to this place because you've put yourself out there. You've allowed yourself to be hurt before.
Girl, yes.
To the point now where you're like, I know how every single feeling.
Yes.
I've seen it all. I've dated them all.
Exactly.
Every way that things have ended, I've experienced it.
That is the key. That's what I've been trying to articulate that for so long, and you did it. That's exactly.
Yeah, and that's why I think honestly, before you find the love of your life,
I was like freaking out. I was like, yes, Steph, like this is what I'm
dating is so dating is so important because it really it teaches you so much about what you want. And people say that all the time, but like I think just right now this conversation is exactly what that looks like, you know, and like because you got to the situation, you knew right away, okay, no, you know, and then like yes, you can still continue to learn, yes, but like you are in this place where you're literally dating so many people right now, and like we're talking to. I don't want to, you know,
I'm not going on holiday. I'm entertaining.
You're dating, you're putting yourself out there, and I think you know, like for anyone who's starting to put themselves out there or currently putting themselves out there, like just know that like every single person is meant to be there for a reason. Even if it's just for like a week.
Yeah.
Or like for 2 hours.
I learned a lot about myself, and I learned about, and there was some qualities in him. I was like, oh, like the fact that he was open to watching Married at First Sight.
Right.
I was like, I want a guy that's open to that. There was at least some guys like, no, I'm not even gonna try and watch it, you know?
Right.
But I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you
I
want
like
to
the
watch
flexibility.
That. Yeah. And then so now you're at this point where like compared to the 20s to now like reaching like entering your 30s, like you're dating with intention because you know what these intentions look like.
Right.
Versus when you're in your 20s, you're like
blind leading the blind child.
Right. You're like, I don't know myself. I don't know myself. I don't know what I want. You think you know you. Here's the thing.
You think
y'all act like, and we do it too. Y'all act like you know exactly what you want at 22.
You do not know.
No, and you don't know until you go out. You go out and you date, and you're like, wait. Like for instance, perfect example. I'll get to your story soon because I just really like. And we're running out of time, but like, I used to say like how I just wanted like a super super nerdy guy. I'm like I love them super nerdy, like nerdier the better. I dated this man. And he was a nerd, hardcore nerd, and he would run around in a Spider-Man costume all the goddamn time. His Instagram is him in a Spider-Man costume, like. And I realized, and he had everything that I thought I wanted. I was like a nice guy, super nerdy, and like, but also really sexual. Like I thought, you know, this type of job, whatever. And then I had that, and I was like so turned off by him. I'm like, I can't stand him. Yes, bitch. I was like, I can't stand this man. And so every time I see Spider-Man, I'm triggered.
Like, Steph, jump.
Steph, jump. I'd be like, no. Like, I hated it.
I don't want to jump anymore.
I hated it. I was like, okay, maybe like slightly nerdy, but
like,
not
do you
too nerdy.
Smell that? You'd be like, smell what? My Spidey sense.
No! I'm just triggered. Spider-Man triggers me. But anyways, continue. So about your dad.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, like, my dad used to always tell me, probably he stopped telling me this when I was 28. He would always be like, you're not ready for anyone. You're not ready.
That used to piss you off.
Oh, girl.
Because my mom told me that too.
I'm like, what you mean I'm not ready? Like, look at me. I'm full. Girl, I was as broken as me. I was
broke girl therapy.
Broke girl therapy for real. Yeah. Like, broken. My dad was like, you're not ready. But now my dad is like, you're ready.
Yeah. I tell you this all the time. You're there. Yeah. Like, you're so close. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Well, maybe it could happen tomorrow. You never know. We don't know.
Never know.
But, like, you're so close.
Yeah.
And, like, that's why I'm just so excited. Even for, like, you dating, like, and talking to, like, 5 guys at one time. Right. Like, I'm like, yes. Because I feel like there's such a difference. Like, shit, even from, like, the last few episodes we did. Like, there's such a difference where you're like, dude, like, I'm just not, like, And I feel like I'm so excited because I saw that in myself too, like right
Mm.
before Brian. And like even though Morgan and Brian were like so but I like felt that way where I was
Yeah.
just like,
I'm just gonna go for
bro,
it.
like
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is what
care.
it is at this point.
Right, exactly. Like you feel like you're just like I've seen it all, I've experienced it all.
Girl.
Now I don't care, and then it's just like boom, so it's just I'm excited for
Okay,
what's to
friend,
come.
I'm excited too. If you're my husband, call me.
Yeah.
Or no, it's fine.
Slide
I'll
the
find you.
DMs. Anyways, we were like, let's keep it at 45 minutes. It's over an
as
hour.
If.
I know. We still have to do another episode.
I love that for us.
If you're down still.
Of course.
I'm just gonna change my shirt.
Me too.
Okay.
I'm on a roll.
Yeah. I just feel like when me and you talk, it's like so hard to like stop.
Stop
Like we have to
talking.
like force ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
okay, stop. We have to like force ourselves to stop talking because as soon as it starts, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah,
Okay,
love that for us.
Tell yourself because
Hi, it's the baddest, your best friend, your neighborhood Christian girl. Just kidding. As
me and
if.
HK just did an episode jerking for Jesus. Jerking for Jay. I called it for jerking for Jay just I didn't want to offend the
Yeah,
Christians.
that would definitely be a first. Don't do that.
Well, no, because whatever. You didn't listen. They know. I'll explain later.
I'm joking.
Continue your plug.
J.Clarke _ and Clarke is with an E. I was gonna say Gmail on Instagram. J.Clarke _ is my
Now
Instagram.
we know your email.
That's not my email. And if you're in LA, I'm on Tinder, I'm on Hinge, I'm on Bumble. So
And she's single.
and I'm single.
Yep, and she will.
I'll date you if you're not trifling.
and
I've
you
also
just
been-
send an Uber, and
I've
she'll
also
be
been
there.
open to dating lighter complexion men. I don't want to say Caucasians, but
Oh,
Caucasian
just-
men.
What? Really?
Yeah. Why
I
not?
don't see it, but
I know I don't see
really.
it for myself.
But
either.
try it.
I just wanna
honestly,
try. I don't know what that's like. I mean,
You need to date a Filipino man.
really?
Yes.
Wow. I've never
Filipino
done that.
men love black women, but they don't have the balls.
I want to see if there's any on Bumble. And then
Sorry, I
I'll,
don't
I'll,
mean-
like,
not
match
all-
them.
sorry, not all,
all
yeah.
of them,
But
but yeah. Anyway, so
again, another episode. Okay, bye. Well, no, I had to plug. Okay, and follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to brocotherapy.com. All that shit is there. Send me your stories. Love you guys. Stay safe. Love your love. Don't pull and pray. And live your life.
pull and pray, y'all.
No, don't do it.
Please.
Okay, bye. Broke Girl Therapy. Broke Girl Therapy. Broke Girl Therapy. Broke Girl Therapy. Broke Girl Therapy.